Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. I hope this time of wild, uncontrollable hair finds you well. Oh, I need a barber. I was supposed to get a haircut before all this happened, and now... Oh, anyways, let's move into what we're really here to talk about. People getting angry and Secret Lair ceasing operations, all right? There was an email sent out to a number of people who have been awaiting Secret Lairs. They're just basically the one that most people are focused on right now is the Theros stargazing one. Interestingly enough, Wizards has released Secret Lairs after that came out for some people, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Let's dive into the official announcement first, and then we can cover all the silliness that goes along with it, because people are upset. So, email sent out by Wizards of the Coast says, "Hello, thank you for your patience as we work to get your Secret Lair drop series Theros Stargazing order to you. Amid this global panharmonicon," yeah, you guys can figure out what word was in there instead, "our priority is the continued safety of our partners and their families. As many areas around the world are now under shelter-in-place orders, our printing and distribution partners for Secret Lair have had to cease operations. For these reasons, we optimistically anticipate delivery of your Secret Lair drop around late May, early June of this year. But that may change as we assess the situation locally and around the world. We'll get back up to full speed as soon as it's safe for us to do so. Until then, we appreciate your continued patience and understanding. If you would like to know more about Wizards' response to Kimono, please refer to this page, and there's a link there. If you have any further questions, please refer to our help center, and that is signed Wizards of the Coast." So, what's going on here is fairly obvious. A lot of things are being forced to shut down. That obviously is not something that you can just go, hey, you know what? We're just gonna do it anyways. You have to accept the reality of the situation. But there are a bunch of people who are angry, and then there's people who are angry at the people who are angry, and a bunch of arguing going on. So let's examine the issue from multiple angles and see who is the least unreasonable in the scenario, I guess. Because we do have, like, some of the complaints are legitimate, and some of the responses to those complaints are also legitimate. I mean, the fact that it takes so long for Wizards to get these products out isn't the best scenario in the world. Yes, it is a print demand style item, but it seems like it takes a long time for them to get them printed out. You compound the problem a bit by the fact that how they do these Secret Lairs is they try and estimate at least a fraction of what people are going to want and print them. So the people who get in really, really early, and I mean really, really early, have a chance of actually getting ones that have already been created and will be shipped out virtually immediately. Now, the Theros Stargazer one actually has the additional problem that it wasn't originally planned to be released when it was. You can tell by the actual collector numbers on the cards. All the Secret Lairs we've had before the Stargazing one actually led up sequentially, but there's a big gap between the previous Secret Lair, so that would be the Rat Secret Lair, right? Which some people still haven't received that one as well, and they'll be dealing with the same kind of scenario as this one. But Stargazing is the main meat of it's the disgruntled meat, all right? So you have a scenario where the Secret Lair was the last one that was sequentially correct, and then these Theros ones weren't actually part of the sequence. They were created later on. And my theory, now I can't prove this, but my theory is that Wizards had actually intended for the cards that ended up in the Stargazing Secret Lair to be a part of something else, either the Theros Collector's Edition or some kind of special God packs for the Theros set, whatever it was. They decided it has to be at the last minute. They decided at the last minute not to use them for their initial purpose. So the fact that they have Constellation artwork that is the same style as the Constellation artwork in the collector's packs, whereas every other Secret Lair we've had has some kind of unique style of artwork that's not connected to anything pre-existing, makes it feel like the Stargazing, that combined with the collector's number, makes it feel like we were never intended to have this as a Secret Lair, and they just went, you know what? We already paid for the artwork and everything. We've got this done. We're not just going to let that go to waste. Let's create these Stargazing box sets. but it gave them less time to be prepared for it, right? So you have a scenario where people are placing all of these orders. Obviously it's selling out pretty well because the fact is they're backlogged this far. And now it comes out that, okay, we're going to be this long in them coming in. Now, some people are angry because it's taking so long for them to come out. That's understandable and unreasonable at the same time, where it's like, it's understandable to have ordered something and be like, okay, why is it not coming? Why do I have to wait so long? You can understand that mentality. It becomes unreasonable when you pay attention to the fact of what's going on in the world right now. Like when you look at the world right now, you go, okay, it makes sense why they would have this sort of a delay. So just being angry, like if you're disappointed that you're not going to get them in a timely manner, that's completely understandable. Now, where anger mainly seems to be spiking on this is that Wizards, they said nothing about, if you notice when I went through that, they said absolutely nothing about, like, if you have a problem with this and would like a refund, here's how you can do it. The secret layers are a no refund style product. That was stated up front when people made these orders, right? So you look at it and go, okay, that's the nature of secret layer. They're print to demand, you pay in advance, and then they print them, and there's no cancellations allowed. Now, under normal circumstances, that makes perfect sense, where you go, okay, sure. I mean, this is the way that you've created the product. I get that. But we went from reasonable circumstances when this was like essentially concepted and presented to us as the public. That was what, about mid-February, I believe, is when they came out with the stargazing ones and are like, okay, they're available for you. So this is like a month and a half later that we're finding out that it's going to be multiple more months. Remember, they said they're optimistically hoping for the end of May, beginning of June. So we could see this pushed on X number of months more. Now, if it was just a delay because like a raccoon came in and ate all our secret layer manufacturing machines, and we've had to chase the raccoon out, and it's going to take us months to rebuild the machines. And if it was some sort of isolated incident where it only happened to the company, you could understand the whole like, okay, well, they're not offering refunds. This is something they couldn't control. And they need money to replace the machines and all this sort of thing. But we have a scenario where right now they've acknowledged the impact of what's going on in the world, right? They've just announced they're going to be sending out booster boxes to help strapped LGSs and let LGSs do these sort of money tournaments as a way to help them in these troubled times. But what they're not acknowledging is that it's not just LGSs that are going through troubled times. All kinds of people, just everyday folk like you and me who can't get haircuts, are basically affected by this situation as well, right? There's a ton of people who can't work. So not being offered a refund in this scenario, like you haven't printed the product. You can literally just go, okay, you want out? Sure, you can have your money back. But Wizards has not offered this option. In fact, some people have actually contacted Wizards of the Coast and said, I want to get a refund. And they've got a response saying, no, refunds are not allowed. That is what is being said by individuals. There's this big Reddit thread where everybody's basically getting angry at each other. So people who are angry about Wizards not giving them a refund, some of them are justified and some of them aren't. There are people who are like, if you're upset because you need the money, like, and let's be real, there are definitely people in that scenario. If you could really benefit from having the money that you put down towards these stargazing box sets, I mean, how much was it for the full set of them? Like $150, $150 US dollars versus like, I think $40 for each individual drop. I think that's how they broke it down. It was like $150 for all five, $40 each. That is not an insignificant amount of money for your everyday citizen, right? For me, like, for 40 US is actually right nowadays, that's like 50 Canadian. 50 bucks is nothing to scoff at. That is considerable. That is a bunch of groceries on your table during a time of economic uncertainty. So the people who are frustrated that they can't get a refund are like, I can understand them and it's reasonable, but there's an unreasonable camp in there that are going on about, like, I can't believe Wizards isn't going to like print these and they're taking so long and they won't do a refund. And in the meantime, they're making interest on my money. And it's like, let's be real. let's be real. The way the economic systems work is that the banks that make the decisions on interest rates are all slashing interest rates. And what happens when that happens is you don't make money by having your money sit in the bank account. Your interest rate drops like down to such an infinitesimally small amount that using that as an argument against Wizards in previous circumstances, you know what I mean? Like you buy like, I don't know, $500 worth of mythic boxes back when everything was economically stable. Maybe then you could be like, hey, you know what? They're just generating interest on this. I don't see it from that perspective. The whole interest thing is a non-issue. But the fact that people may genuinely need the money is a real issue. And there are people who are angry about, like, it blows my mind at how people can just sort of almost dehumanize other people and their scenarios and just wave it away. Because there are people who are angry at the people who want refunds, going, hey, you knew what it was, and honestly, I have no sympathy for anybody who bought one of these secret layers, because if you have the money to buy this, then clearly you're doing super financially well and have no problems in your life. Like literally, that's what's being presented by some people. And that's insanity. Take it from me, man. I have a bunch of all types of different people who come here, and some of them are very well off. But most of them are like me and are just getting by. We're just getting by month to month. That's how life is for us, right? So some of these people give themselves a treat. There are people who are literally talking about how it's like, I went and worked overtime enough to be able to buy one of these secret layer drops. I'm not talking about buying the whole set, or people who are like, I bought 10, so, you know, I decided 8 for me, 2 for my dog. My dog hasn't really gotten into Magic and chews up the cards, but whatever, only the best for fluffers. Like, it's not way fluffy. Let's change that. I know what that term means, okay? That's a different kind of pet. So, anyways, the point I'm trying to make is not everybody who buys secret layers is wealthy. So to get angry at somebody who bought a secret layer and go, if you have money, like there are people who are going, if you bought any Magic and you don't have at least 3 months worth of living expenses, you're an idiot and you get what you deserve. And it's like, this is all over cardboard rectangles in a game. How can you be such a scumbag to treat people like that? Like it's so awful. You just look at it and go, why are you angry at these people? So we've got a scenario where people are like, I'm going to charge back this stuff. I'm going to charge it back because Wizards won't give me a refund. And then other people are like, don't you do it. Don't you do it. And it's absolutely fascinating and insane to watch. But either way, I just wanted to come by, talk about the insanity that's going on. We've got the whole ceasing of the secret layers for the time being. I wouldn't be surprised if Wizards keeps announcing them though, and it's just like, buy it now, it'll be ready in 2022. Like it's absolute nuts. Anyways, let's roll the Patreon scroll. Let's get the name of these delicious people who support my channel rolling on by. These are my favorite kind of people right here. So if you want to be like these awesome people, go ahead and join my Patreon. Thanks for coming by, everybody. Let me know your thoughts and what you're angry about in the comments, because that's what comment sections are for, right? Being angry and mean. So let's all be angry and mean, because that's what the world needs in these times. That's what's going to make this situation better. If we all get angry at each other over cardboard rectangles, because we all know they're essential to life, right? Always remember, people don't matter. Getting angry about cardboard does.